All right, on this episode of Bouts Talking Bouts, happy to be speaking with an individual who's got quite the tilt going down at Bellator 264. It goes down on August the 13th, a welterweight affair in the co-main event. Andrey Koreshkov and Sabah Homasi getting out there and testing skills and welcoming Sabah onto the show for the very first time. How's your day going so far there, man?
It's going great, man. How about you?
I'm doing all right. I imagine you're feeling pretty good, though, just being that you're nominated for that 13th annual Fighters Only MMA awards show there. You're getting that bit of a fight of the year kind of look there a little bit. Like, how cool is that? I mean, obviously, the outcome, not maybe the most ideal per se, but in the sense of, like, just getting that level of fanfare around it. Like, how cool is that?
Yeah, that's pretty cool, man. I was pretty excited to see that. I mean, it was a very entertaining fight.
Yeah, just fighting a legendary individual like Paul Daley. I imagine you learn a tremendous amount competing with individuals that are, that experienced. A guy that's got, over 60 MMA fights alone.
Right.
And just it seemed like there was some level of following Paul Daley since you were 18, I believe you were saying in the post-fight sort of post there. So what was it like to get out there and test skills with someone you have, that level of respect for that you've been watching for a while?
Man, it was great. It was an honor to share the cage with him. I've been watching him from a young age because how exciting he was, just knocking people out. I loved it. And to get to fight that guy that I was watching from a young age was a whole lot of fun, but I'm pretty sure we'll get to do it again. So I'm just focusing on this fight right now, and we'll see what Bellator has in store afterwards.
Yeah, and what were your thoughts when this matchup kind of came your way there? Because obviously Koreshkov, a former divisional champion, I imagine you were pretty excited. Like, what was the feeling when this match initially kind of, popped up on your radar there?
It was a great feeling, former champion. This is perfect to show what I'm capable of doing, and showing my skill set. I know he's a dangerous fighter, great striker, very quick with his punches and his kicks, especially his spinning kicks. So I just got to be on my A game and see everything coming my way and shut everything down,
Yeah, absolutely. And just him returning to the Bellator fold. I mean, he did have that one fight outside of the umbrella. Like, did you happen to check out that fight and everything like that as part of the tape study that you've done? Or do you more so allocate that to, like, Mike Brown and individuals like that more so?
Yeah, me and Mike Brown, we sat down and watched it, broke it down. He's been using his wrestling a lot in his last couple fights. So, this is MMA. We're ready for everything. We're ready for whatever he tries to throw at us. So, this is what the training is for. You just train what you got to do in a fight, and fight night comes, and you just got to do it.
Yeah, and just reference the fact that you're working with some ATT individuals there, and it seems like you have quite the history there since about 2008 there. Like, can you talk about just the journey with American Top Team and just the growth that's happened with yourself individually and just the gym overall as a collective?
Yeah, absolutely. My teammates and coaches and Dan Lambert, I mean, they've all just made me into the person I am today, and I'm super grateful for my team. And, I started my career there, and I'm going to finish it there. I don't plan on ever leaving that place. That's family to me, But it's crazy to see how far I've come from a young age to seeing where I'm at today. And I'm just, grateful for the opportunity that I got over there. So.
Yeah, for sure, the gratitude definitely coming through, but it also seems like there's been a lot of growth that's happened with Bellator. I mean, I was noticing you've been competing with them on and off since June 2010 on their 21st event there. Can you kind of talk about that similar dynamic I mentioned before, where it's like the individual growth, but then you see the collective you're a part of also growing as well?
Yeah, obviously, when you're starting off, you might be green in the sport, but as time goes on, it's impossible not to get better if you keep working at something, right? So over the years, just kept on training, kept on working. It doesn't matter, if I got knocked out, I get back up to my feet and I get back to work. It's part of the game. It's like, just because I fail one time or twice or three of times. How many times people fail? You know, people fail hundreds of times, thousands of times, you know, before they actually put everything together and then shine bright. So that's where I'm at right now. You know, back in the beginning of my career, I had a hard time getting fights. So any fights that came my way, I just took it. And I kind of grew up, you know, a few people say that I kind of grew up in the cage, you know, fighting the people that I fought. And then, you know, I say this over and over again. It's like, if you lose, you go back and you watch it, right? And you look at the mistakes you've made and you correct them. If you win, you do the same thing. You know, even a win, I look back on my wins and I look back and I'm like, okay, I could have done this differently, or I should have done this, you know. And I always look at wins and losses, and it's a learning lesson. And that's the same thing in the gym. You know, if you get caught in a submission, or if something happens in the gym, if you get hit with something, be like, okay, what did I do to get hit with this? Or what did I do to get caught in a submission? And you don't do it again.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, well put there, man. But you talk about, you know, getting to shine bright and stuff like that. I mean, I noticed the nickname has a certain connotation in that regard, the Sleek Sheik. I'm kind of curious on the backstory of that. Like, what's the origin of the nickname there? Because I think that's a good one.
Man, you know, I was at my brother's house one night. It was chilly down here in South Florida, believe it or not. It was probably in the 50s or so. And he had a bonfire, and we're at my brother's house, and his friend was there, and he's like, he just calls me the Sleek Sheik. And I forgot his name. God damn it. But he just kept on calling me. He's like, man, you're not the problem. You're the Sleek Sheik. He kept on calling me that. Then it stuck with me. I'm like, you know what? That's a great name. So that's when I changed my name to the Sleek Sheik.
Yeah, so how long has that been kind of in place for? It seems like a little bit.
Oh, shit. I don't even remember. I would have to look back. Maybe 2014, 15.
Yeah, it's a great nickname. Yeah, I was going to say one of those nicknames that probably will have the shelf life for the rest of the career. Definitely a good one. But I've been talking about the ATT dynamics before and stuff like that, and it seems like you're getting in work pretty regularly with, like, you know, Dustin Poirier, Thiago Alves, guys like that. Are those some of the individuals you're really working with heavy ahead of this particular fight here?
Absolutely. You know, Jorge Masvidal, Dustin, Pitbull, Mike Brown, Roman Feraldo. He is also a welterweight fighter for Bellator, and I appreciate him so much because, you know, he had to pull out of his last fight because his daughter was being born, and then everything that he dealt with afterwards, man, it's just crazy to think about. You know, everyone was praying for his daughter, making sure that she was going to pull out of the phase that she was in, and you know, she did. So I'm just happy that she's okay. And, you know, the guy's awesome, dude. He literally comes up from Key West and helps me train. So I'm just thankful and grateful for the people that I have around me.
Yeah, I admittedly didn't know about the situation with the health issue there, so I'm very, you know, happy that things panned out with that too. I mean, that's the most important for sure.
Of course.
But yeah, I mean, there's something, you mentioned Jorge Masvidal. It seems like there's something to the flying knee there. I mean, and just like, I wanted to kind of package it like this too, because I thought it was pretty remarkable that you broke your hand in the first round of that Bobby Voelker fight, and then you end up getting that kind of like a flying knee stoppage early on in the second round. Like, I guess, what do you credit to having that kind of like mental fortitude to be cognizant of, like, okay, obviously this hand here is compromised, but then relatively shortly thereafter securing the finish? Like, can you kind of talk about what informs that kind of resolve and that mentality there?
Man, you know, what was crazy is I broke it like, shit, it was the first hook I threw in the first round. It was like 30 seconds to a minute in the first round when I broke my hand. I didn't realize, like, I felt it, but I didn't think anything of it because obviously adrenaline is in there. But when I kept on throwing it, like, I can't even make this up, man. I was feeling my hand crunch, and it was so painful. Like, if I threw a jab or if I threw anything in it and it connected, even if he blocked it and I hit his forearms, like, I felt everything in my hand. I felt like the bones were just crumbling. It was crazy. But then, obviously I'm going to continue to fight. It's not like I'm going to continue to throw it. I don't give a shit if it's broken or not. I'm going to squeeze that brick and throw it. So, that's just my mentality. If I'm in there fighting, I'm fighting.
I was going to say maybe the ability to overcome damage to the hand is partly informed by, Thiago Alves just working with a BKFC world champion. You guys just have those durable fists over there, I guess.
Yeah, I don't everyone knows fighters are tough. You got to be tough. And when something goes wrong in a fight, let's say if you get injured or whatever, and I'm sure a lot of fighters can say the same thing. It's like, you're going to keep going unless something, like take a look at Jamal Hill when he broke his arm, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
I don't even think he knew what happened, and it's just crazy. Like, you're going to want to continue to fight no matter what. And a lot of guys, who was it? I think Michael Chandler, when he broke his ankle, he said he was okay. He tried walking and the shit started like flopping around. Like, yeah, that's just a fighter's mentality, man. You got to keep going.
Yeah, absolutely. And just, speaking to the point of fighter mentality, for some fighters that's informed by the particular, genres of music they train to. It's generally something I ask fighters about when I have them on the show. So I'm curious to get your perspectives. Like, is music like a bit of a key part of the training there? Is it something that you don't allocate as much thought to? Because I know some fighters, it's kind of like a whatever, like whoever grabs the aux cord, I'm kind of fine rolling with whatever. Like, where do you stand on all of that there?
Yeah, typically anyone who puts music on, it's good tunes and it gets us going. So it doesn't matter to me, man. As long as it's good music, gets us going and we're good. Just get to work.
I was going to say, who's generally grabbing the aux cord over there at ATT? Is there like a regular DJ or, sharing of the duties a little bit?
It's a mix, man. Dustin will throw something on, or Johnny, or Jorge, or Charlie, someone, whoever gets to it, And like my playlists are all over the place. It's just a bunch of crazy shit. Like, I got to organize it better, so.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way, though. It's just whatever fits the given mood, I suppose. But, want to be mindful of your time, man. I imagine you have a, busy schedule just with everything leading into the fight and all. So is there anything maybe you'd want to add as a parting thought as we're kind of wrapping up here, man?
Not off the top of my head, man. I'm cutting weight. I can't even fucking think straight. But if anything comes to mind, I'll let you guys know.
I was going to say, I think we're just getting ready for this amazing welterweight fight here. Pretty much just sells it right there. Bellator 264, August the 13th, a co-feature with Andrey Koreshkov and Sabah Homasi testing skills. And yeah, I really appreciate you coming on the show and giving some insights, man. Just, hopefully you enjoy the rest of the day and looking forward to the fight as well.
Thanks, man. You too. Appreciate you for having me.